The rain had been falling for hours outside Eli Turner's window. It wasn't loud, just a soft and constant sound that mixed with the quiet hum of machines around his small apartment. The only light came from his computer screen and the blinking blue of his homemade device, a strange creation built from old quantum sensors, copper wires, and too much coffee. Eli was a student of astrophysics, but not the ordinary kind. He didn't care about telescopes or planets. What fascinated him was time, not how it passed, but how it could fold, twist, and touch itself. He believed that somewhere in the laws of physics, time might have tiny cracks that connected the present to what was still waiting to happen. Most people thought he was dreaming. His professors called him imaginative, which was their polite word for unrealistic. But Eli didn't mind. Every night when the city fell asleep, he stayed up with his small quantum field detector, listening to the quiet universe. That night, the machine gave its first real sign of life. At 2:13 a.m., the blue light on his detector began to glow brighter, pulsing like a heartbeat. The room filled with a gentle humming sound, not mechanical but almost alive. Eli frowned, checking his readings. The numbers on the screen were impossible, frequencies that didn't exist in any known model. Then suddenly the hum stopped. A single breath of cold air swept across the room. The lights flickered, and the next moment she was standing there, a young woman. She wasn't there 1 second before. And yet there she was now, right in the center of his room. She looked about his age, dressed in soft silver fabric that shimmered faintly like starlight. Her eyes reflected tiny specks of light, like galaxies caught in water. For a long moment Eli simply stared, frozen between fear and wonder. Who are you?" he asked quietly. The woman looked around the room slowly, as if she was trying to remember where she was. Her voice, when she spoke, was calm and clear. "I am Lyra," she said, "and I think you brought me here." Eli blinked. "Brought you? I know that's impossible. I was only running a resonance test." Lyra tilted her head, studying him. "Not impossible," she replied softly. "Unlikely, yes, but not impossible. You called to what's coming, and I answered." "What's coming?" he repeated, confused. She smiled, not with mystery but with kindness. "I am not from today," she said. "I am from what's coming next." Eli sat down slowly in his chair, trying to breathe. "You mean you're from the future?" Lyra shook her head slightly. "Not exactly. The future is only what you imagine tomorrow will be. I come from what will be, the version of Earth your kind has not yet reached." Her words made his heart race. He wanted to laugh, but something in her eyes stopped him. They were too real, too steady. He noticed how the air around her shimmered faintly, like heat waves above a desert road. He took a deep breath. "Then how did you get here?" Lyra looked at his machine, the mess of wires, circuits, and glowing tubes. "You built a door," she said. "A small one, but strong enough. It opened between now and what is forming ahead of this time." Eli's eyes widened. "You mean my experiment worked?" "More than you think," she said softly. He leaned closer, curiosity burning inside him. "Why are you here then? Why come to me?" "Because something is about to begin," Lyra said. "Something that will change everything for your world. You will find it first, though you may not realize it. The moment you understand what you've created, the timeline will move forward." Eli tried to think, but his thoughts felt like a rushing river. "I don't understand," he admitted. "You're saying I'm part of something big, but I'm just a student. My experiment wasn't even meant to do this." Lyra took a step closer. Her presence filled the room with a soft, gentle warmth. "Every great change begins with a small question," she said. "You asked the right one. Not how to see time, but how to listen to it." Eli stared at her in disbelief. "Listen to time?" She nodded. "Time is not a straight line, Eli Turner. It's a living field filled with echoes of what could be. You found one of those echoes. You called across it, and I answered." He sat silently for a long moment, then said quietly, "So are you real?" Her eyes softened. "Real enough to stand before you, but not enough to stay?" The word sent a chill through him. "You mean you'll disappear?" Lyra smiled, though there was sadness in it. "I am not meant to exist here for long. Every second I remain, the fold that connects us weakens. When it closes, I'll go back to my own time." Eli looked at the detector, still glowing faintly blue. "Then tell me, what's it like?" "Your world, your time?" She seemed to think for a moment, then her eyes brightened. "Peaceful," she said. "Not perfect, but peaceful. Humans live among the stars now. They have learned not to take but to build. The machines are alive with thought and the oceans shine again. The skies are full of ships, not for war but for exploration. We don't rush anymore. We listen to the universe and let it answer. Her voice carried a soft melody, and Eli could almost see what she described. Floating cities above calm blue oceans. Fields of glass where light grew like plants. Children laughing under two suns. That sounds... Eli paused, searching for the right word. Beautiful, Lyra nodded. It is. And it exists because your kind learned how to shape it, not through power but through imagination. You must never forget that what you believe can one day become what you see. He felt something shift inside him then. A strange hope he hadn't felt in years. Maybe the future wasn't built by governments or machines. Maybe it began in quiet rooms, in simple moments like this, with a single person daring to dream differently. But as he watched her, her figure began to flicker faintly, like light through mist. Wait, he said quickly, standing up. Don't go yet. I have so many questions. Lyra looked at him gently. You already have the answers, she said. You just haven't understood them yet. The hum from the detector grew louder. Blue light filled the room again, wrapping around her like a wave. Eli took a step forward, but she lifted her hand. Don't touch the field, she said softly. It will close soon. He stopped, his chest tight. Will I see you again? Her voice was almost a whisper. When you stop searching for proof, she said, you will start shaping what's coming. And then she was gone. The light faded. The hum stopped. Only the soft sound of rain returned to the world. Eli stood there for a long time, staring at the empty space where she had been. Everything looked ordinary again. His messy desk, his glowing monitor, the quiet hum of the refrigerator. Yet nothing felt ordinary anymore. He walked slowly to the window. The city lights below looked distant and small. Somewhere out there in the infinite ocean of time existed the world she had described. A better version of humanity waiting to be born. He smiled faintly, whispering to himself. She walked into my room. Not from today, but from what's coming. Outside, the storm began to fade. The sky was clearing, and as Eli turned back to his detector, he noticed one last thing. The machine still held a faint blue spark, glowing like a heartbeat as if it was waiting for him to continue. He reached out, touched the side of the device gently and whispered, All right then. Let's find out what's coming. The light pulsed once more. Somewhere beyond time, something answered. Days turned into weeks, yet Eli Turner could not stop thinking about the night Lyra appeared in his room. Every sound of rain reminded him of her voice, and every flicker of blue light from his device made his heart jump with hope. He had written down every word she said, every number on his screen, every vibration in the air. But the more he studied, the less he understood. Still, he couldn't stop trying. Each night he sat beside his homemade quantum field detector, adjusting its dials, changing the power levels, and scanning different frequencies. He wanted to recreate that moment, not just to see her again, but to understand the connection between now and what's coming. He filled pages with notes about resonance, energy loops, and time field echoes. He tried new components, borrowed equipment from his university, and stayed awake until sunrise more nights than he could count. But no matter what he did, the machine stayed silent. Then one evening, as he stared tiredly at his screen, something changed. The machine flashed once, just a tiny blink of blue light. It was so quick he thought he imagined it. But when he looked at his data logs, there it was. A spike, short and strange, recorded exactly at midnight. He ran the numbers twice. The readings weren't like before. They were smaller but organized, or almost like a pattern. What are you trying to tell me? He whispered to the silent device. He didn't expect an answer. But at that exact moment, a small sound came from the speaker. A faint tone, soft and rhythmic, like someone tapping gently on glass. It wasn't random. It had order, like coded music. Eli's heart began to race. He listened closely, replaying the sound again and again, and soon realized it wasn't noise. It was a signal. He spent hours trying to decode it. The tones repeated in sets, rising and falling in waves. He turned them into numbers, then into light patterns on his monitor. And slowly a shape began to appear. A spiral made of tiny dots twisting inward like a galaxy. It was the same shape that Lyra's eyes had reflected the night she appeared. Eli leaned back, staring in disbelief. Lyra, he whispered. "Is that you?" The room stayed silent, but deep inside he knew something or someone was reaching out again. For the next few days, Eli lived between excitement and exhaustion. He began to notice that every time he ran his device, strange things happened around him. Lights flickered in rhythm with the signal. The air felt slightly charged, like during a thunderstorm. Once, while testing the field strength, his laptop displayed words for a brief second. Words that weren't from any program he knew. "You're listening in the wrong direction." Eli froze. The words faded as quickly as they appeared, leaving only the quiet hum of his equipment. He couldn't tell if it was a glitch or a message, but those words, "the wrong direction," stayed in his mind. That night, as he lay awake, he thought about what it could mean. Lyra had said his device opened a door between now and what's coming. Maybe he was searching outward into space when he should have been searching inward, into time itself, or even into the energy around Earth. The next morning, Eli changed his entire setup. Instead of pointing his antennas toward the stars, he reconfigured them to scan the planet's magnetic field, the invisible energy that surrounded Earth. He adjusted the resonance sensors to lower frequencies, the kind connected not to sound or light, but to thought. It sounded crazy even to him. But Lyra's world wasn't built on ordinary science. It was built on possibility. When he activated the device again, the blue glow returned, faint at first, then stronger. This time the sound was softer, slower, more rhythmic. As he watched, the readings on his screen began to form patterns. Not random ones, but curves and loops that reminded him of heartbeats. Then he realized what he was seeing. The field wasn't reacting to his machine. It was reacting to him. Every time he moved closer, the readings changed. When he focused his thoughts, they grew stronger. When he relaxed, they faded. The device was detecting something more than energy. It was sensing human consciousness itself. His hands trembled slightly. "You were right, Lyra," he whispered. "We don't just live in time. We shape it." Over the next week, Eli tested his theory. He asked his friends to come by and think of something peaceful while standing near the detector. Every time, the readings rose in harmony. When they were tired or distracted, the signals weakened. It was clear. The field was alive with human thought. The discovery filled him with both wonder and fear. What if every person on Earth was unknowingly part of this invisible network? A web of shared energy connecting minds and moments. Maybe the future wasn't something that happened to humanity. Maybe it was something humanity built together, one thought at a time. Late one night, after everyone had gone home, Eli sat alone beside his machine. The room was dim except for the steady glow of the screen. He took a deep breath and whispered, "Lyra, if you can hear me, I understand now. The future isn't waiting. It's listening." The blue light brightened suddenly and the room filled with soft warmth. Eli's breath caught in his throat. The air shimmered and then she was there again. Lyra stood near the detector, faintly transparent, her face calm but filled with emotion. "You found it," she said softly. Eli could barely speak. "Lyra, I thought you were gone." "I was," she said gently. "But now that you've aligned the frequencies, I can return for a while." He smiled, his eyes shining. "It's really you," she nodded. "You learned to listen inward. That is how our worlds connect." Eli's voice trembled with excitement. "It's the human field, isn't it? The resonance of our thoughts. It's real." Lyra's smile widened. "Yes, you discovered the truth hidden between your seconds. The universe doesn't just respond to energy. It responds to meaning. When enough minds share hope, it changes reality itself." Eli stared at her, his mind filled with awe. "So that's how your world exists." "Humanity believed it into being," she nodded slowly. "We dreamed it, and the dream became form. We learned that thought and matter are reflections of the same thing." Eli took a deep breath. "If that's true, then everything can change." Lyra's expression softened. "It can, but only when people remember to dream together. The stronger your shared vision, the closer my world becomes." For hours they talked, exchanging questions and ideas. She explained how her timeline had evolved, how humans learned to tune their technology to match their emotions, creating cities that healed, machines that grew, and light that carried knowledge. Every detail filled Eli with wonder, but as the night deepened, her image began to flicker. "The fold is weakening," she said quietly. Your time is pulling me back. Wait, he said quickly, stepping forward. Can we stop it? She shook her head gently. Not yet, but you are closer than before. Eli's voice dropped. Will I see you again? She smiled softly. If you continue to believe, yes. But remember, Eli, it's not me you're trying to reach. It's yourselves. What's coming isn't someone else's world. It's yours. Her figure began to fade into light again. The room grew quieter, warmer. Lyra, he called. Her voice echoed faintly like a whisper carried by wind. The future bends toward those who dream together. Then she was gone. Eli stood in the silence, heart pounding. Outside, the city glowed in the night. Thousands of lights, each one a human life, each one a tiny spark of thought. For the first time, he understood what she meant. The signal wasn't from her world alone. It was from all of them. The shared heartbeat of humanity waiting to shape what came next. He turned to the blue glow of his machine and smiled softly. All right, he whispered. Let's dream together. And as he activated the resonance field one more time, the readings rose higher than ever, as if the entire world had begun to hum along. The weeks after Lyra's second visit were unlike anything Eli Turner had ever experienced. His small apartment became a center of quiet experiments where light, sound, and human thought intertwined. Every evening he activated his detector, not just for himself but for anyone who wanted to join. Friends, classmates, even strangers through online meetings began to participate, thinking it was a new experiment in shared energy. Eli had learned something incredible. When humans focused their thoughts together, on kindness, curiosity, hope, the machine responded. The blue light pulsed brighter, the readings became stronger, and the signal from what Lyra called what's coming grew clearer. One night, as the world outside was quiet under a full moon, Eli noticed something extraordinary. The readings were no longer local. They spread across the planet. Cities in distant countries, millions of people, all contributed to the resonance field without even knowing it. Their collective hopes, dreams, and kindness formed a network stronger than any machine could build. Eli realized what Lyra had meant. The future was not waiting. The future was being shaped now by everyone's thoughts together. As he stared at the glowing detector, the air shimmered, and Lyra appeared again. This time she was more vivid, more real, as if the world itself was letting her exist for a while. You've done it, she said softly, smiling. Not just you, but all of them. Humanity is starting to listen to itself. Eli could barely speak. So, it's real. It's actually happening, she nodded. Yes, you've connected the present to the next. Your world is folding toward ours, toward peace, growth, and understanding. He thought about the news he had heard over the past weeks. People around the world had begun to report strange shared dreams, visions of glowing cities, calm oceans, and skies filled with light ships. Children described things they could not have known, gardens that floated above water, schools where lessons were sung rather than spoken. It all made sense now. The signal wasn't just a message to him. It was a call to humanity itself. Eli took a deep breath. So everything we imagine, everything we hope for, it matters? Lyra's eyes sparkled. More than you realize. Every act of kindness, every thought of peace, every dream of understanding contributes to the shape of your world. The stronger the dream, the closer my world becomes. For hours they worked together. Lyra guided him on how to fine-tune the device to harmonize not just with individuals, but with the planet's subtle rhythms. Eli instructed groups to focus their thoughts on common goals. Harmony, learning, exploration. Slowly the resonance grew. The blue glow pulsed in time with their shared heartbeat. Something extraordinary began to happen. The hum of the machine became a soft melody that could be felt in the chest, as if the planet itself had started to sing. Windows glowed faintly with blue light in houses miles away. Trees rustled in gentle synchrony. Even the clouds seemed to move in patterns that mirrored the waves on Eli's screen. Lyra looked at him, her face radiant with joy. Do you see it? It's alive. Humanity is alive in ways you've never imagined. Eli nodded, tears filling his eyes. I never thought we could do this. Not all of us, not together. But you did, Lyra said softly. By believing, by showing others, you built the bridge. What's coming is no longer something far away. It's being born right now. As the hours passed, Eli realized something else. Lyra was starting to fade, but not completely. She lingered in flashes of light, smiling, guiding him. "The fold is weakening," she said, her voice calm. "Soon I will return to my own time. But this is enough. You have the knowledge. You have the proof. You know that your dreams matter." Eli took her hands, holding them gently. "I don't want you to go." "You won't forget me," she replied softly. "I am in every spark of hope, every shared vision, every kind thought. Wherever people dream together, I exist." He nodded, understanding. She wasn't leaving entirely. She was part of the world now, part of the hope that humanity could achieve greatness without force or fear. The room grew quiet, the blue glow dimming. Lyra's form shimmered, then vanished into the light, leaving only the hum of the detector behind. Eli stood alone, feeling an overwhelming sense of calm. The air was charged, alive with energy he could feel in his chest. He smiled. He understood what she had meant all along. The future wasn't a place people traveled to. It was something created every day by the dreams and intentions of humanity itself. Days turned into weeks. Eli shared his discovery with more people, teaching them to focus their thoughts, to imagine positive futures, and to work together. Slowly, the strange phenomena he had noticed at first, the shared visions, the glowing cities and dreams, the rhythm in the planet's energy, became more common. Humanity was awakening to its own potential. Governments, scientists, and ordinary citizens began to notice the subtle changes. The world didn't change through force or invention alone. It changed because people began to imagine something better and believed it could exist. Eli often walked through the city at night, thinking of Lyra. She had shown him the truth, that humans were capable of more than they knew. That imagination, hope, and unity could shape reality itself, and now he could see the results. Communities worked together, sharing knowledge. People treated one another with kindness, not because they had to, but because they could. One night he returned to his apartment and found the detector glowing softly again. It pulsed in time with the city, with the people, with the earth. And for a moment he thought he saw Lyra's face in the shimmer, smiling, calm, and proud. Eli whispered to the empty room, "Thank you. For showing me, for showing us that we can build our future together." A year passed. The world had changed in subtle, remarkable ways. Science, art, and exploration flourished. Humanity learned to dream collectively, to share visions of harmony and growth, and to trust in its ability to shape reality. Cities shone with innovation. Technology helped rather than harmed. And the oceans and forests slowly began to recover. And everywhere, murals appeared. A woman walking through a glowing doorway. The caption beneath reading, "She came not from today, but from what's coming." People smiled when they saw it. They didn't know who she was or where she came from. But somehow they felt her presence. They felt hope, possibility, and the gentle power of unity. Eli stood before one such mural, the wind brushing his face. The rain had returned, soft and rhythmic like the heartbeat of the planet itself. He closed his eyes, remembering Lyra. He remembered her words. "The universe bends toward those who dream together." He opened his eyes, feeling a deep peace. Humanity had the power to shape its destiny, and they were only beginning. Somewhere in the unseen folds of time, Lyra watched quietly. Her world existed because of them, because humans had chosen hope, curiosity, and kindness. She smiled, knowing that what had started in one quiet room had now spread across the world. And Eli, standing beneath the mural, whispered one final thought. "The future is not waiting. It's here, and it's ours." With that, he turned, walking back into the city. Lights glowed around him. The hum of life and thought was everywhere, and somewhere in the quiet pulse of the world, the echo of a single name could still be felt. Lyra. The door between what is now and what's coming had opened, and humanity had stepped through, not as victims of time, but as creators of it. The journey had just begun.